Hi there, this is Gloria at Air Corporates. When you set up an offshore company, you may be tempted to use a nominee shareholder or director. In this video, I want to share with you some of my experiences about the pros, the cons, and the practical tips about nominees. So let's get started with the beginning. What is a nominee? Well, I guess you know already, a nominee is a person that you pay to be a director or shareholder of your company on your behalf. Then, why would you want to hire a nominee? There are several reasons. The most common one is privacy. The point of having a nominee is that he or she will appear on the public records of your company instead of you. Obviously, this is helpful to avoid your competitors or a former employer to know who is behind your business. Assets protection can also be a good reason. A nominee arrangement can add an extra layer of protection for your assets, especially in cases where you may face lawsuits, creditors, or other risks. As you can tell, using a nominee can be tempting, but in practice, things can be difficult. So now let me share with you some practical experiences that will help you to decide if a nominee is a good thing for you and to avoid some basic mistakes. The first thing is that you must know that nominee is not a cheap service. Or if you find a cheap one, then you should worry. Why? This is pure common sense. Your nominee is the person that is in legal trouble in case of problem. So if your nominee is a serious professional, he or she needs to spend time understanding your business and assess the level of work and risk. And this comes with a cost. So if you're starting a brand new business not making money yet, you may want to think twice before hiring a nominee. The second and maybe the most important matter is trust. I mean, it is one thing to use a nominee to reduce the risk of appearing yourself. But you should ask yourself, what if my business goes very well? What if I have tons of money on the company bank's account? Am I going to feel safe knowing that this is the name of another person? This one is really a big question. So obviously you need to think carefully to balance the benefits and the risk. Now, in case that you decide to go for a nominee, let me also tell you two things you need to do, because if you don't, you will be in trouble sooner or later. First, do things properly. If you hire a nominee, you must work with a reputable provider. Second, you must have a proper nominee agreement in place. Third, you must have a nominee to sign blank share transfer forms so that you can take back your company shares anytime. You must sign a declaration of trust to avoid tax the day when you transfer your shares back to yourself. You must keep a copy of your nominee's ID documents. And finally, you must set strict access and payment rules for your company bank's accounts. Now, second and the last tip, avoid the deals that are too good to be true. There are many horror stories out there involving nominees. So if a provider offers you an almost free of charge nominee arrangement where the owner of your company is some random person based in a faraway country with guaranteed bank accounts, Amazon, Klarna accounts, and so on, then please, you better think twice. That was it for my take today on nominees. You can always contact us if you have any questions about nominee services. And as usual, please follow our channel and stay tuned for more.